I want to thank you all for being here today as we remember someone who was a true, caring community servant, Nancy Kinsey. In fact, we have chosen to inscribe those exact words on the permanent stone marker that will remain with this tree. This tree is planted in memory of Nancy J. Kinsey, Caring Community Service, 1945-2014. That'll be planted here, put over here with the tree. Nancy served our community well as our Executive Director of the Development Authority of Walton County. Throughout her career, she helped companies like Hitachi, Walmart, Tucker Door and Trim, Solo Cup, and General Mills located in our community. Thousands of people have jobs at these companies in part due to Nancy's hard work. Nancy was a true friend. Through the years that we worked together, she gave me sound advice, whether I asked for it or not. I always knew where Nancy stood on issues, and I appreciated her honesty and candor. It's a privilege for us to hold this tree planting ceremony today in her memory. It's only a small token of appreciation for all she did for our community. Now we have a few people who are going to make some remarks, and I'd like to introduce the first person to come to the podium, Morris Jordan. No one knew Nancy perhaps better than Morris, who served as chairman of the Development Authority for many years and still serves that capacity today.
Thank you, Kevin. It's an honor to be here today, planting this tree in memory and honor of Nancy. I want to thank Ralph, Kara, and the rest of the family for being here. I had the privilege of working with Nancy for the 20 years she served as Executive Director of the Development Authority. She was dedicated, compassionate, and loved to laugh. In thinking of Nancy, a quote by Joseph Conrad comes to mind. Being a woman is a terribly difficult task, since it consists principally of dealing with men. This is especially true in economic development. When she started out, there were only a handful of women in the industry. She often had to coach us on the proper thing to do. I remember one time when she made a former chairman of the county commission go and get a manicure before she'd let him meet with a prospect. That's probably the first and last time he got a manicure. From here, looking around, we can see the many successes we enjoyed over the last 20 years, which had a profound impact on Walton County. Her efforts helped bring numerous jobs and added millions to the tax base. But there were many other ways Nancy impacted the community that most do not know about. If a child needed school supplies or clothes, she took it upon herself to make sure they were taken care of. She gave her talents to the Empty Stocking Fund, youth and adult leadership, Rotary, the Boys and Girls Club, United Way, as well as many other organizations. She mentored many students and young adults. Just like this tree will grow, many from the community will continue to grow because of the efforts of Nancy. One of my favorite stories about Nancy was when a prospect came into the airport and they had to go through an area that needed some revitalization. To distract the prospect, she acted like her contact had come out, so everyone was looking down when we went through the area. We all knew she didn't wear contacts, but the prospect did. It's appropriate to plant the tree here, the site of our first major industry to locate in Walton with Nancy's help. Hitachi's success to include 2 major expansions is a further tribute to her influence. I want to thank Michael and Hitachi for allowing this tree and plaque to become a part of their campus. Lucy from Peanut Comics may have said it best: the planting of a tree shows faith in the future. Now I'll call on Neil Jackson to say a few words.
Nancy Jackson Kinsey. Nancy Jackson was from Jackson County. We shared the same last name, and I often called her a cuz. And she says, "Do you really think we're related?" I said, "Well, I used to have to remind my mother, just because you don't like somebody, you don't saw the limb off the family tree. She said, well, we might just cut the whole blank tree down. Nancy was a real light to come to Walton County. Morris and I and others happened to be on the committee that interviewed Nancy along many others. And Nancy stood out as the candidate that Walton County needed at that time. Now, we had some leaders in Walton County at that time that realized that Walton County really needed an economic development arm, a professional person to lead that. And of course, in interviewing Nancy, we realized that we had found that person. And Nancy was all about educating everybody about what they should do. As Morris indicated earlier, she didn't mind telling you how you needed to dress. And this morning, as I was going through my closet deciding what I needed to wear, I was reminded, Nancy says, on this occasion, you need to wear a coat and tie. And that's what I did. I think Morris and Kevin got the same message. Now, when Nancy moved to Walton County, she hadn't sold their house. Ralph was left up in Cherokee County, and she stayed around with various friends from the chamber and wherever else for a period of time. And one day she said, Neil, I gotta find somewhere to rent. I said, well, we can find you somewhere. She said, I mean now. I said, why? Now. I gotta get Ralph down here with me. And I said, well, I got a little house that you can rent. And I said, probably not big enough for you. And she said, oh, we'll make it work. Well, sure enough, her furniture wouldn't fit in that little house, but it had a large screen porch on the back. And she had Ralph appropriately fix it so that she could get all of her furniture and things there. The first thing that Nancy did was try to train all of us volunteers about what we were supposed to do. And she took us to Atlanta, to the statewide developers, for the state and utilities and so forth. And she told us how to dress, and she didn't mind doing that. I don't think she did she, Ralph? Anyway, she really made an impression, and we tried to follow her guidance. Now, she had a way of communicating that could be nice, or it could be a little forceful. And as I think back, her main goal was to get the job done. Now, regardless of your political persuasions, I think she might have had a little Trump in her character, because she didn't mind letting you know what you needed to do, when you needed to do it, and how you needed to do it. And sometimes that would take people in the wrong direction about what's she upset about. She just wanted you to do the job and do it right. She did a wonderful job for Walton County in economic development. And I think that this tree is a living example of what Nancy did, and we will continue to remember her into the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Neil. We are so privileged to have this opportunity to have a legacy, someone so important in our lives and our company's life as well. We're grateful to the family for allowing us to have this tree planted here. In Japan, during the month of August, the Japanese celebrate a very important Japanese tradition called Boban. During this time, families gather together to reunite to celebrate the lives of their ancestors. And what I can say is what a perfect befitting time for all of us to come together to honor Nancy's life from both an American and Japanese culture standpoint. On behalf of Hitachi, let me express our company's deepest appreciation and gratitude to Nancy Kinsey's family for allowing Nancy to devote her life to the betterment of Walton County, the state of Georgia, and of course, our company. Nancy played a vital role in securing our business to this location. It is one of the main reasons why we exist as a company today. I had the privilege to spend one-on-one time with her and see her passion and desire to see our company grow, but also this community thrive as well. Nancy always had the best interest in mind of Walton County, the state of Georgia, and fought diligently to promote economic development, which she knew was the difference in transforming our city, our county, and also our state. No doubt her efforts supported making the state of Georgia the great state to do business it is today. Nancy's presence can be seen throughout our company's history from day one, as you'll see in some of the pictures we have in Building 3, until her retirement by becoming a vital consultant to our company. Nancy was here for the official incorporation of our company, the breaking of ground on our first building, the breaking of ground on our second building. There goes my speech. That's Nancy's spirit there, huh? She's probably laughing right now. Thank you, Kevin. Breaking of ground of our first building. She was here for our second building, and recently also the third groundbreaking we had when Governor Dale was here. Our company is again privileged to have a permanent reminder of Nancy Kinsey with this planting of the tree today. She will be forever remembered by this tree and the plaque as a permanent testimony of her efforts to support our company all these years. Hitachi reserves the very special honor to only those considering most deserving of this special event. In closing, let me say to Nancy's family, although Nancy is no longer here in physical presence, her spirit and her passion can always be seen and felt at this company. Thank you, and may God bless Nancy's family in the days to come. I think Nancy's daughter is next.
Thank you to each and every one of you for attending today. My mother would be very pleased to know that they to be here and know how much this community loved her and cared for her and appreciated her. It also means a lot to me and my dad, my aunts, my cousins. Walton County was a very special place for my mother. She considered it her home. It's where she spent the rest of her career. It's where she built her home. She loved what she did. In many ways, it was who she really was. It was what defined her. As Kevin Little stated earlier, she was a true community servant. My mother would be very grateful for the spot chosen to plant this tree. Hitachi was very, very, very special to her. It was her first big company that located here in Walton County. Even after her retirement, she was involved with supporting Hitachi in their grand opening in its newest facility. It's fitting that there be a permanent memorial here in honor in her memory. Those of you who knew my mother knew she was a spirited individual. She lived life to the fullest. She is missed greatly by her family, my dad, friends, my aunts, cousins, and many in this wonderful community. It's as though there is a void in our lives now that she's not with us, but her legacy and memory lives on. Cherish the times we have with her, and thank you again for honoring my mother.
What a great day for Nancy Kinsey and what she's done for Walton County. At this time, Neil, Morris, Kara, Ralph, Michael, and myself will put dirt onto the ceremonial planting of the tree.